Welcome to King's InterHigh Voices. This is a webinar created for you and by you, the international community at King's InterHigh. We take your suggestions, your ideas, and we convert them into these lovely conversations with some fabulous speakers. And we hope that we can connect with you, our audience today, around today's theme of international community. I'm your host, Esther Clark. I'm the global head of communications here at Inspired Education Group. And I'm joined today by some very lovely people, most of whom I've actually met at one stage or another because they've been involved and studying with King's InterHigh for a couple of years at least. So without further ado, let me introduce them. First of all, I'd like Anna to introduce herself, please. Anna, if you can say your name, the year that you're studying, and where you're located. Thanks. Hi, Anna. Could you try it again?
I'm Anna Takano, and I currently reside in Tokyo, Japan.
Thank you, Anna.
My name is Anna Takano. I am year 12, and I currently reside in Tokyo, Japan.
Excellent, Anna. So nice to meet you. We'll go next to Lucas. Lucas, do you mind introducing yourself and what year you're studying and where you're located?
Hi, my name is Lucas Meyer, and I'm currently located in Austria, and I am in year 11 in King's InterHigh.
Thanks, Lucas. And Padma, can you tell us a little bit about where you're calling from today and what your connection is with King's InterHigh?
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Padma. I'm a proud parent of two boys at King's InterHigh in year 10 and another one is in year 12. We have been part of the school for over 5 years now, and it's honestly been a life-changing journey for all our whole family. And I'm based in Malaysia. Because of my husband frequently travel across Indonesia, and our mobile lifestyle, online school become the perfect solution for us. So that's the reason we are in the King's InterHigh international community.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Pam. And thank you for that background as well. It's great to have you joining us today. And finally, I'd love for Tahura to introduce herself to the audience today. Tahura, do you mind telling us a little bit about yourself and also where you're located today?
I can do. Thank you for inviting me. It's lovely to connect with everyone today. So I'm very excited to share details about King's InterHigh. My name's Tahura Khalil, and I'm the head of Middle East and Southeast Asia. We've a school that spans over 3 very distinct timetables, but all very fluid, working with some great flexibility for our young learners. I've been a senior leader for many years, more years than I care to share, but for many years I've been a senior leader both in the UK and with international experience. My setup is in Dubai in the UAE at the moment, but I work across, as I said, all 3 timetables, and I frequently travel back to the UK, which actually is my natural home.
Thank you, Tahura. Great to have you joining us today. So let's delve into the topic at hand. It's international community. And this is actually a topic that's very near and dear to me as well. I always see our school as not just a school, but an international learning community. And I think this webinar in particular is going to showcase that. I'd love to hear first from our students, because of course that's the reason why King's InterHigh exists in the first place, our students, both Anna and Lucas. Anna, do you mind starting off with telling us a little bit about why you joined an international online school? I think your story is really fascinating. So if you don't mind sharing a little bit with our viewers today, greatly appreciate that, Anna.
Thank you for asking me that question. So I first started King's InterHigh around 2020 January. So that was exactly where the coronavirus or the pandemic had hit. And I actually lived in the Philippines for most of my primary school years before returning back to Japan. And during that time, most of the schools, like even the public schools and international schools, were remote, and because of that, I wasn't actually able to attend the classes like a normal Japanese elementary school student, purely by chance, thanks to the help of my mom. Then I found out how flexible it is with fencing during that time, and that is how I've been here since.
Thank you, Anna. So Anna fences in her spare time and a tremendous fencer. So thank you for adding that element in as well. I'd like to pass it over to Lucas, who also is an athlete. Lucas, can you tell us a little bit about your sport and also answer the question about international school and why you joined an online international school?
Thank you very much. Well, my sport is skiing, so alpine skiing, and it's on snow, so that's why I'm currently in Austria. That's why I live in Austria. It's the best place to ski, and pretty much I started skiing from a young age, and I grew up through this normal school system that everyone goes in, and over time you realize it just gets extremely difficult and cramped, and the more you focus on your sport and the more your dreams are in reach, pretty much, then school kind of becomes a burden that you need to push away. And we didn't want that to be the case. We wanted to have a parallel path, which should be school in this case. And then we found King's InterHigh 3 years ago, and pretty much our goal was to look for a school that was flexible, that was able to combine sports with school, and at the same time allow me to be the best in my sport. And that was completely what King's InterHigh is, for me especially, because it just has never failed to actually let me breathe in my sport, let me be the best version of myself in my sport, while at the same time, improving my grades exponentially. I've aced all of my last exams that I've done in the last few weeks now, and I'm super proud of that. But that's only because I was able to go in my own pace, learn how I learn. That's the most important thing. And yeah, so in general, it's just been an incredible journey.
Amazing. Thank you, Lucas. And I have a question, because I've always wondered this. You live in Austria, but you travel quite a bit as well. How many languages do you speak?
Well, I can speak Spanish, English, and German.
Wow,
So,
amazing.
yeah.
Truly a global citizen. Thank you, Lucas, for that.
Exactly.
I'd love to hear from Padma. Padma, you gave us a really great introduction at the beginning as to how you kind of found King's InterHigh. But from a parent perspective, how do you feel the school is in terms of being an international online community? Do you see that with your children studying at King's InterHigh, the fact that it's international? How would you describe that?
Thank you for your question. It's been a great part of their learning. My boys have classmates from all over the world. They can speak more than one language. They can speak German, they can speak French. So I think this is the reason, because it's international online school. My boys they get to learn alongside a different culture and perspective every day. A very special moment was when my son, Pavesh, went on a school trip to Madagascar. Even though it was the first time they met in person, many of the students already know each other well from their online lessons. They from the different countries, but because of King's InterHigh, they already felt close. So it's like they're meeting the old friends. That really shows how strong the school's international community is. So, and not only that, recently, sometimes ago, something amazing happened. One of the students from South Africa, whose sister is in my son's classmate, she's planning to come to Malaysia to study after A-levels in King's InterHigh. She reached out to us for help with preparing for accommodation and settling in. Without King's InterHigh, I think she wouldn't have had the personal connection or friends already in Malaysia. It really shows how the school creates a global friendship that go beyond the classroom. I think international aspect in King's InterHigh really works for those who are around the world. So I think for my children, yeah, they learn a lot of stuff and they have many friends all around the world. And that's how King's InterHigh internationally helps them.
Thank you, Padma. It's great to hear kind of firsthand international community in action. It's great to hear your perspective. So thank you for that. I think on behalf of the parents watching today, thank you for lending the parent perspective, which is really, really important. Tahura, across to you, we've heard from the students and parents about the international community. How, from an administration and a leadership point of view, do you foster that international community at King's InterHigh?
Thank you for asking the question, Esther. And I think the panel spoke beautifully to it actually to begin with. But it almost happens organically for us. And Padma spoke about opportunities where students simply wouldn't have had the chance to meet each other had they been in a physical school. Here's a unique thing about King's InterHigh. We are not constrained by four walls and geographical spatial ability to access a school. We are absolutely global. So our young people and our young students in a classroom will meet people from all over the world. Their peers will come from all parts of the world. And that's very unique for our young people. It's very exceptional for our young people. And then when they have these opportunities to meet together face to face, it becomes a really, really almost an intimate moment for them. It's really a lovely experience. So we foster it actually through our classrooms almost organically. And also don't forget our teachers come from all over the world. All experienced UK qualified or UK experienced teachers, but actually have live all over the world, and that also brings a very unique experience for our young people in the classroom. We also respect very carefully the cultures that come into our classroom, that come into our schools, and we do that through lots of things like competitions. Our student council is very active. We have a very strong parent voice, a very strong community voice, and we don't just give that a token gesture. We listen, we hear, and we react, and we make sure that our curriculum reacts to it. We follow the British curriculum, as I'm sure everyone knows, but we also make sure that our pastoral curriculum is really catered to make sure that our students experience the very unique feature of being with lots of people across the world. It's very unique to King's InterHigh.
Thanks for that, Tahura. I know that's very interesting. And you touched upon the curriculum, and that was one of my questions. So you stole my thunder there for a second. I was going to ask you about the curriculum. It is a British curriculum across the different time zones. But I was also going to mention there is an IB curriculum as well and a US curriculum that's offered by Inspired, isn't there?
Yes, that's the thing. Our US curriculum is ready for launch this academic year. So we're working really seamlessly behind the scenes to make sure it's right, it's accurate for our young people. We offer an IB curriculum, very unique. We were the first to offer it in a UK school online, very popular, again, internationally. And the IB curriculum is very centered. It's front and center when it comes to internationalization, preparing our young people for the workplace, but also preparing our young people actually for life outside the workplace. So we offer diverse curriculums, but also to support that, we offer very flexible timetables across our 3 time zones, Southeast Asia, GST, and the UK. And we offer fluidity across that. So that's really quite unique. And I think Lucas spoke to it very well, very early in this webinar.
Thank you, Tahura, for that. I will pass it over to Lucas, actually, because I was wondering, Lucas, you mentioned about your athletic pursuits and yourself as an athlete and balancing both studies and sports passions. And just wondering, in terms of the online school experience, are you a member of any clubs, or are there any kind of activities that you have participated in that that help you connect more with the King's InterHigh community?
Certainly, I have actually not really been connected with other King's InterHigh members personally. Through online, yes, but not physically, just because Austria especially isn't known in the online schooling system, which also is a reason why we chose King's InterHigh as well, because we had to go international. There is just no Austrian system that allows for such flexibility, right? So it really, I am in a team, so I'm in the Austrian national team. But even then, even the Austrian national team, I'm the only one that goes to such to international schools, which is sad because they're missing out and they know it. So it's really, but yeah, I'm encouraging a lot of people. So who knows? Maybe I get to know some people that get introduced as well.
Thanks, Lucas. Always love your perspective. Anna, what about you? Are you involved in any clubs or activities, kind of beyond the curriculum, that connect you with other King's InterHigh international community members?
Well, prior to reaching year 12, I think that was last year. I used to be in the, I think it was chess club. Yeah, I used to play chess with like some of the other students that were like, there was this one person that was a year above me, and I got to connect with this person on how rigorous the AAS level is, or what with the other, how tough it is. Or I even got to connect with like the younger peers who there isn't that really that much chance to talk with aside from assemblies, but even then that's really rare because the assemblies you get are from your own year group, so you don't really have the chance to interact with all years aside unless you join a club. But for this year, I'm currently not in a club right now, so I really hope to join that, but I've been busy doing fencing so far. So.
Yeah, no, it sounds like you have a very, very full and active life. So thank you for that, Anna. Patma, I'm going to ask you a question about what you spoke a lot about, the experience, your own experience as a parent. You've also spoken about how you've interacted with other community members. If do you have a piece of advice, or is there something that you tend to talk to other community members about in terms of the school? Is there any advice that you would give to a parent that called you up and said, Patma, what advice do you have for me to join King's InterHigh?
Okay, since I've been here for more than 5 years, I would say don't be afraid to give a try. Many people want to give a new try, especially on online school, they might be afraid. But to me, I say don't be afraid, okay? Don't be afraid to give it a try. If your family needs flexibility like mine, you still want a strong academic foundation, this is a great option. Don't miss out the option. If I would have known this earlier, I think there's many things I've been fixed in my life. The school really does their best to keep parents informed with a regular newsletter. As Ms. Taurus knows, they always update us everything. That's whatever happens in the school. So as a parents, we need to go through the newsletters, information evening for the new parents. It's time to time the school will organize it. So my tips would be create a good routine at home. Okay, if you want your children to have online school at home, just create a good routine at home. Set up a quiet and comfortable space for learning. And then encourage your child to really take part in lessons and make use of all the info and support the school provides. As Anna and Lucas say, they use whatever is provided. If you want to utilize all that, that's where you'll see the output of the school. And also get involved with the parents community. Like us, we parents communicate with the new parents who's planning to join or really just join. We have WhatsApp group to connect it to each other, especially when they have a very quick questions. We can, you don't have to reach a school. You can reach the WhatsApp group, and it's really helpful for those who just join and those who are already in the school. They share their experience and share whatever things that they need to know. So I think it's really helped, especially in the beginning when you're involved in the parents community. So King's InterHigh truly a life changer for me and my family. So we're really grateful for the flexibility, as what Lucas and Anna said. They have time for their outdoor, their hobbies, or their games and all that. It makes such a positive difference in our life. And I hope hearing my story today helps you on your journey to join King's InterHigh.
Thanks, Patna. That's great. I've already kind of made note of some of the tips that you mentioned. So it's don't be afraid to give it a try. I love that. It can apply to lots of aspects of our lives. Go for it. The second is be resourceful and find also a routine and the right place to be studying. So those are great tips, and get involved. I think from the panel today we can see that there's two students that are very involved in their community, in their sport, in their city and country, and then with the international community, as well as you. We really appreciate all of the work and I guess the collaboration that you provide to our King's InterHigh family. So thank you to you, Padma, as well. I'm going to move on to Tahura as we wrap up this webinar. Tahura, I was wondering, I have a little note here from marketing to ask you about Key Stage 2. So first of all, what is Key Stage 2? Because we might have some people joining us that don't know what Key Stage 2 is.
Mhm.
And how does that apply to Southeast Asia? Can you let us know a little bit about that offer?
I can let you know lots about it. I'm very, very glad you've got that note, and I'm very, very glad that you've asked. Key Stage 2 is it's a term we use in our British education, in our British national curriculum. So we have Key Stage 2 for the younger years, we have Key Stage 3 for the middle years, Key Stage 4 and 5 for the upper years. So if I just explain a bit about our history for Southeast Asia, we started off at Key Stage 4 and up. So we launched with the upper school years about 2 years ago. And then we wanted to open up for Key Stage 3. So we kind of worked backwards. We went from upper school, then to middle school, which we call our Key Stage 3. And then naturally there was a demand from our parents. And again, I mentioned earlier that we listen to voice and we make reasoned decisions from it. So we've had lots of demand from our parents and our families to open up the lower year now, the Key Stage 2 in our British curriculum. So I am very, very excited to announce, it's already been announced, but I love announcing it again and again, that we are opening up a Key Stage 2 for our Southeast Asia timetable. So essentially now what families have got is almost the complete year groups from Key Stage 2 right the way up to Key Stage 5, just before they want to enter university after doing A-level or IB, in all of our 3 time zones. So very, very excited.
A full school pathway. That's great.
School.
Thank you, Tahura. Thank you for that. I think if you are looking for more information about King's InterHigh and specifically about the Southeast Asia offer, you can go to kingsinterhigh.co.uk for more info. There's always as well a team of very friendly admissions members that are ready to answer your contact form query or your phone queries. So please book a call if you are interested. So just to mention that we do have those resources available. So I think we're running out of time, unfortunately, because I'd love to sit here and chat and maybe get a nice cup of tea and chat with you guys for a bit longer. I would like to ask and finish the webinar by asking the students for their one little nugget of wisdom. So a short little statement that you would like to share with the audience members. It could be potential students, it could be prospective families, it could be your own classmates that are watching you. What would be the nugget of wisdom that you'd like to leave the audience with today? And we'll start with Lucas first.
Thank you very much. After a bit of thinking, I think especially the biggest concern from my parents' perspective about joining an online school, coming from a physical school, was the factor of independence and pushing, like that the parents have to be behind the kid more often. And it was a concern about that not being able to happen as much, and that pretty much I'm reliant on myself and I have to rely on myself, and so on and so forth. So there was more pressure from that perspective. But as we went on and we took the leap of faith, pretty much as we went on, I pretty much discovered that King's InterHigh does push as well. I've never really thought of that scenario, but you get pushed, you get support, and at the same time, because you're online, your parents are able, and because the parents get information about your progress constantly, right? So it's like your parents constantly are on top of your schoolwork, even without trying, pretty much, right? So it actually wasn't that difficult for them to push me, and for King's InterHigh, for my teachers to push me. And through that teamwork, that's how we were able to kind of stay on top of work. Because I know, as a matter of fact, doing your work alone and as a student is more difficult to motivate yourself. But then, so my words of wisdom is definitely that it was able to work out because of the support that King's InterHigh could give.
Wise words from Lucas. Thank you so much. Anna, over to you. Do you have a little piece of wisdom that you would like to share with the audience today?
I would say, yeah, like Lucas, being more independent would be great, but I think what really matters the most is flexibility, because like Lucas, who and mine, fencing and I think it was ski, the ski, but both of yes, sorry, these two sports both take up a lot of your time, and honestly, if you go to an in-person school, so much time could be just taken away. I mean, like I'm not sure if I could say this, but like in the Japanese schools, like the main difference between InterHigh, King's InterHigh, and this school is that normally in Japanese schools, like in fencing especially, you have like the morning practice and evening practice, but that's it. But with King's InterHigh, because you could take the online classes literally anytime or anywhere on Spotify Premium or something like that, but because it's anywhere, you could even practice in the afternoons or even in the early mornings, or, oh, after this lesson, I have a break after this, so I could just use it to practice a lot more like that. So one piece of advice I would give is you have to choose your priorities. It's more like, what do you want to do to actually, after you enter the school, do you simply want to study a lot more, or what do you want to prioritize on? Like Lucas and I would want to excel in our sports, but we also want to excel in academics. So we chose flexibility, and that's why we picked King's InterHigh. So by figuring out our priorities, I think that would really help in choosing out how King's InterHigh is right for you, like it did with us.
That is beautifully put. Thank you so much for expressing that in that way, and I really appreciate it. And it's a testament, I think, to the international community and the amazing students that I'm inspired by every day. In closing, I would like to say thank you to all of our guests. I would also like to say thank you to our marketing members behind the scenes who help with the technology and the logistics of this webinar. And before we close, I did want to just give the opportunity to Padma and to Tahura to say some final words. Padma, is there anything you'd like to share with the audience today before we close? I'm sorry, Padma, I think your microphone is not working. So I'll see if you want to try to fix that. We'll go to Tahura for her parting words.
Thanks, Esther. I think I'd like to say thank you to everyone for joining, for listening and organising this. I think it's been a wonderful opportunity to share a bit more about King's InterHigh. The students have talked about flexibility, we've talked about the timetable and the curriculums that we offer. And actually, Padma said something that I picked up on earlier, which was try. It's really worth a try. We offer something that's very unique to families, and we offer very different contracts that allow you to have the opportunity to try. So please do get in touch with our customer services, our admissions teams. They're a lovely group to speak to, and it's been a wonderful opportunity to share that with everyone.
Thank you, Tahura, and thanks for sharing your expertise and your leadership qualities today. Really, really appreciate you taking part in the webinar today. And we'll see if Padma's connection is working again. Go ahead, Padma. Sorry, I can't quite hear you. We'll try once more. No. Sorry about that, Padma, but we do appreciate all of your words of wisdom and your advice today, as well as from our other guests. So with that, I want to say thank you, and I want to invite our viewers to visit our website and get in touch with us. Now? I can. Yes, Padma, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, my final words, very precious for all the parents who love to join King's InterHigh. 5 years in King's InterHigh, I can say this for sure. King's InterHigh have helped us stay together as a family, especially for those who are traveling, and you don't have to stay apart just for the education. King's InterHigh online school has provided us a world-class standard British curriculum and balance our work life and give our children a great education. It's been just right for us, and don't hesitate to join King's InterHigh. I'm honestly choosing King's InterHigh was the best things we have done for our kids. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Padma. And thank you to our other guests today. And with that, the event is now closed. Thank you.